edition is going to be a bad time to play Imperial Knights or Chaos Knights. As a Knight player or someone with a lot of vehicles and elite models, do you remember why the Leagues of Votann were considered so broken before their release? Even after their patch, do you remember, well, no, firsthand, how they're still powerful? With Judgment tokens, they can wound your toughest units so easily. Your greatest strength was nothing to them. This is going to happen again in 10th edition, but perhaps for every army except yours. Games Workshop has shown off several rules for the upcoming 10th edition, and for armies shown off, they have specialisms that will take down knights like that. Now, you may have heard that there will be an increase in toughness values for a lot of units, but it is not going to matter that there will be an increase in toughness value of knights. 6s are still auto wounds, and for other weapons, enough weapons that it will become a common universal special rule, we have the anti-rule. The anti-rule makes it even easier to wound your vehicles. A chain fist will always wound on a 3+, and Space Marine Terminators overall gotten stronger. For non-close combat weapons to kill your prettiest, most expensive models, I'm still expecting Melter Dominance to continue for weapon choice, and you know how bad that can be for armoured infantry and vehicles. High strength and anti-vehicle is a universal murder weapon. Aside from the weapons, the army rules. Space Marines have as their army special rule, regardless of detachment, Oath of the Moment. They pick one of your knights or vehicles or Custodes units, and now their small arms and especially melter weapons are going to obliterate it with full rerolls. That's like every unit in a Space Marine army getting Guilliman's rerolls, regardless of position. And Terminators are even better than other units because of this rule on their data card. This is an edition where any kind of rerolls are expected to be very rare. And they're rerolling all hits and all wounds. Since it targets a single unit, it is powerful against your elite armies and even more powerful in smaller games, which is what people are going to be playing to start off the new edition. It's not just the elite power-armoured armies of the 41st millennium that are going to be kicking the knights in the shins. The hordes are getting in and overcoming knights. The Tyranid's basic detachment rule, and stronger ones may come along with their new codex, is specialised on killing knights. They get to auto-wound on 6s to hit against vehicles and monsters. This applies to their combat and shooting attacks. That is a lot of damage coming your way. The best way to counter Tyranids in 10th edition 40k looks to be playing combined arms of vehicles and infantry. If you are a Knights player, you don't get that option. Unless through the new Allies system, you have a Knight, but you're really playing it in some other army like Imperial Guard and Ally in the Knight. I'm trying to find some solace for you, some good sign. Maybe Games Workshop will do what they did to Space Marines in the January points update and make Imperial Knights and Chaos Knights cheaper. They do want to find a way to make you buy more, and I do mention how expensive these are. I don't know about you, but to me, this is a big number. We haven't seen the Chaos Knights and Imperial Knight army and detachment rules, and probably won't for another month or so. Therefore, their own rules could be also exceptional to counter this assault against them. They may have a great invulnerable save, and to feel no pain. In other promising rumours, while I haven't seen anything about mortal wounds, and in Horus Heresy, invulnerable saves also work against mortal wounds, so there's a positive. Are you still worried? Perhaps a video on 10 great things about 10th edition will help to level you out. Or you can deep dive into worry even more and see what's happening to forge rolled units. If you're an elite army or knight player, let me know what you think will happen to your army in 10th edition.